What up? What's good? 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 Happy to have y'all here. Whenever you may be watching this thing. Okay, cool. I know I just had to check my audio. Make sure my audio is straight. Hopefully everybody's having a good afternoon. Making sure everybody good. Got a pretty decent show for y'all today, I believe. Make sure my phone is on vibrate so we can get to the business, ladies and gentlemen. I'm taking my time with this one. I'm not going to be on here too long, but I am taking my time with this one. Probably for about an hour and a half, no longer than that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast. My name is CJ, also known as the High Value Nurse, checking in once again. Back with another stream. Happy to be here this afternoon. We got some things that we can talk about in this nursing world today, bro. It's a lot of things going on in the nursing world. But before we get into that, I just want to say this show has been brought to you by... I'm just playing. It's coming though. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Man, boy, I ain't gonna cap to y'all. The last couple of days, bro, it's been pretty rough at work. I ain't gonna even cap to y'all, bro. It's been pretty rough at work, and not saying like it's just it's been challenging. I'll say that. I'll definitely say that. Working in this COVID unit, now the unit is completely full. Damn. Man, it's been crazy. Yesterday we had like 35 people in the unit, 18 patients apiece. It wasn't bad, but I do think it's because that I've been working like crazy though, and it's really just time for me. Like I'm getting to that place where it's time to recharge now. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't been on a vacation since December, end of December, so it's been literally like all grind mode. You know what I'm saying? Like all grind mode since then. And usually I try not to go that long without going on a vacation, but I had to, I wanted to get a bag. I really had to just sacrifice focus and buckle down and get a bag. And it was a necessary sacrifice, but now it's definitely the time to do my thing, to recharge these batteries, to relax, eat some good food, enjoy the island vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all never had the opportunity to go on a vacation or go on a cruise or take a trip to like the islands, I'm telling you, man, it's a whole nother vibe when you go. Like it's just like depending on what island you go to. Like the last island that I was at was Grand Cayman. And bro, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had a phenomenal time in Grand Cayman. This was one of the first islands that I went to on a cruise ship to where I was like, I'm sad that I have to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like you never really want to leave, but it was one of the first islands that I went to where I was just like, man, like I'm bummed out that I have to go because the vibe on Grand Cayman, I really love Grand Turk too, but on Grand Cayman, it was just the whole experience was fly. Soon as we got off the ship, they greeted us with ice towels and everything like that. We got some good lemon fruit infused water. Went out and we did a tour of the city. Then we got to see the dolphins, and then we stopped by the beach for a little bit. It was just a vibe, and like I don't know, it was just like the vibe of the island. We had a really good tour guide, and I hate that I lost my camera because I got all that footage on there. I think I got a little bit of footage on my phone, like just a little bit, but I hate that I lost my camera because it was an experience, and I really enjoyed Grand Cayman. We're not going to Grand Cayman on this one. The cruise is Sunday actually. We're not going to Grand Cayman on this one. We are actually going to Saint Martin, Saint Martin, Saint Thomas, and Nassau. Nassau, Bahamas. So been there before, been to Nassau before, but have not been to St. Thomas and St. Martin. So looking forward to seeing what those islands have in store for your mans. But it's definitely time to go. The last 2 weeks I've been working 6 days a week, 1 day off in between time. And this last week, and I said to myself too, I really said, I was like, yo, I know it's gonna be some craziness because it's always like that when it's time to go. It's always like that when it's time to go. On top of on top of not being able to well, I'm not gonna say not, but I had told y'all in the video that I had a a talk on with the scheduler and everything like that, and I said I know my time at that place is coming to an end, which is cool. I'm not mad at that. Um, Getting right back out in these nursing streets, going back to the trap of the agency, man, because I just had to. I cannot be bound, bro, and I say that a lot on here. I say that a lot on this channel. I cannot be bound by the schedule of other people. And that is going to be my biggest challenge as a nurse, especially as an RN in them hospitals, because I know at some point, a lot of those RNs get to make their own schedule, but I'm really about to start focusing on the things that uh, will make me money, that I can do what I want to do when I want to do it, while still working extremely hard at the job that brings me regular income. But fortunately, being nurses, we can switch things up. You know what I'm saying? We can work local agency and all that kind of stuff. And I got some videos on agency stuff too, especially like local travel nursing for like LPNs. I got some videos that's gonna drop while I'm on vacation. So be on the lookout for that. I think it's some really good game in that. But yeah, man, just it's just time. It's time to go back and to it's just time to get back in that agency life, because agency life, you out there with the lions. You out there with the wolves. You never know what you're gonna get, man, especially like per diem agency. And I was just telling a coworker of mine yesterday, like the place I'm at is very easy. It's not hard. It's not a hard gig at all. But I just can't be locked down like that. I really can't be locked down. And you know, I'm sure maybe some people might be watching from the job. It's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying nothing egregious or anything like that. I'm just telling my truth. But I just can't be locked down. It's very hard. It's very hard because you can't unsee things and you can't undo things. Having a taste of that life, it's just something different. Something different. And I hope all y'all that's in the nursing field get to experience uh the agency life and the opportunity to have the freedoms to move the way you want to move and do the things that you want to do when you want to do them. I just want to hopefully I just hope y'all can finesse the game, because it is a game. Like, it's definitely a game. It's a good game when it's good, but it can be a bad game when it's bad. You know what I'm saying? But that's why it's so important to set your goals up and to set your standards up first before you start really getting into something. Because I'm gonna put all this in the book, in the LPN Survival Guide book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna put all this in the book. It's gonna be dope. So y'all make sure y'all go get that when it do come out. I'm trying to get. I'm so busy. Like, I'm really. When I tell y'all I'm really busy, like all I do is I work, come home, edit, you know what I'm saying, and sleep, work out, go to work again. Like I stay grinding, but it is what it is, man. It's a part of the struggle. We gotta learn, not struggle, but it's a part of the journey. We gotta learn how to love the journey. You know what I'm saying? Um, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. Let's get to the show. I just want to give y'all my quick little thoughts, real quick. Got some good stuff we're gonna talk about on this afternoon, and I'm going to bring up the first story. What story should I hit y'all with first? I think I'm gonna hit y'all with this one first, okay? Let me delete some of these tabs real quick. Some of these unnecessary tabs that I got here. Um, I'm gonna hit y'all with this one. I done told y'all, man. If y'all can't understand how much of a business this is, and this article that I'm about to pull up is definitely about to show you what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm definitely about to show y'all what I'm talking about. Shout out to Marcus in the building. Um, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I want y'all to look. I want y'all to look at this. Look at this title. Let's just start with this title, okay? Hold on. My computer want to freeze. All right, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Y'all bear with me for 1 second. Look. Y'all bear with me for 1 second. Okay. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I hope I don't have to restart this. So, let me see. I hope I do not have to restart this thing. Because this thing is acting so crazy. I ain't nothing but the devil. I'm trying to play, bro. Let me see. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Hold on. So it doesn't matter if I'm there. Let me see. Let me see. Let me make sure. All right. Make sure. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's freezing up. All right. I think I'm gonna have to start over, y'all. My computer acting crazy. So, okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut this down. I'm gonna restart it, reboot everything, and then I'll be right back. Y'all make sure y'all come on back. It's gonna, we still gonna be doing the same thing because I can't work like that. So hold on. Before y'all go, let me make sure I bookmark everything so I can just go right to it. I'll pull it back up. Let me see. All right. Yep. We're gonna reboot this thing and we're gonna get right back to it. So I'm gonna holler at y'all in 1 second. Y'all come on back. They say humans are social. Am I still alive? I didn't know I was still alive. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Am I still alive? Y'all, can y'all still see me? Hold on. Let me see. Am I still alive? Y'all, can y'all still see me? All right. I guess I am live. Hold on. So I guess I didn't have to kill the stream. Let me see. That's good. All right. Let me see if I can pull those articles back up for y'all. This thing was acting hella janky. Um, let me see. All right. Okay. All right. If y'all can hear me and I sound good, let me know in the chat, please, before we get going. I think I'm sounding good, but let me know. I think I'm sounding good, but okay. All right, cool. That sounds straight. That sounds straight. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. I do apologize for that. Um, all right. So we back again. So I want y'all to check out that title. Indentured servitude. Indentured servitude. Nurses hit with hefty debt when trying to leave hospitals. Ladies and gentlemen, nurses hit with hefty debt when trying to leave the hospital. Now, this is where it's come to. And we eventually we all knew this was going to happen. Okay. So I guess it's nothing new. When you sign on with certain hospitals and everything like that, you have to sign contracts, especially when you uh when they agree to pay for your tuition and they've invested all this training into you. Like it's not a new process, okay? But hospitals are looking at it like, look, yo, we've invested all this money into you. We've invested all these resources and all this time into you for you to just leave before you're supposed to. And that's a lot of the gripe that a lot of hospitals are having. That's why they say is important. Like if you want to be, let's just say you a new grad, you want to be a CRNA or something like that in the future, and your objective is to get into the ICU to get the experience necessary for you to become um CRNA or to get into CRNA school. I was always told when you go into the hospital, never mention that you want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Never mention that you're trying to quote unquote advance because a lot of hospitals will feel some type of way because or that you're trying to travel because a lot of hospitals they've invested all this time and all these resources into you and then just for you to get up out of here and travel. So I was always told never to say that if I ever chose to go into the hospital and go that route. But look at that title, y'all. Indentured servitude. Nurses hit with hefty debt when trying to leave the hospital. The fact that they can include the term indentured servitude in nursing shows you how much of a business this is, ladies and gentlemen. And I've been screaming it and I've been repeating it, sounding like a broken record. This is this is business. You better treat it as such. I don't know what you're doing. You better treat it as such. Take care of your mental health. Do what you gotta do. Uh, but people always want to say, well, it's about the passion and all that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, that's true. It is true. But you better start treating it as such, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. When Jackie Rum quit her nursing job at Los Robes Regional Medical Center last fall over the heavy workload and low staffing levels, it came with a high price. A $2,000 bill from her former employer for training costs. They hit her with the 2K, the 2,000 ball, two stacks. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The payment was related to a contract Rum was required to sign when she took the job at Thousand Oaks, California hospital owned by HCA Healthcare, the nation's largest for-profit hospital chain. Under the agreement, which is standard for entry-level nurses working at HCA hospitals and becoming increasingly standard for other health systems, Rum agreed to pay back the hospital for training if she quit or was fired before her 2-year contract expired. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's starting to become standard. This is nothing new. But I want to ask you, is 2 years too long to sign somewhere to work? Now, I'm sure there are other career fields and career paths to where you may be required to sign to work for a certain amount of time, besides like sporting agencies and all that kind of stuff. But I'm sure there are other paths out there where you can do that. But 2 years of your life, is it worth it to be tied down, to potentially miss other opportunities, to be locked in? See, that's what makes me nervous about transitioning into that role, especially if I do decide to go that route, that hospital route. You dig what I'm saying? That's what really makes me nervous, because I don't want to give up 2 years of my life like that to where I feel like I'm trapped. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be my biggest issue. That is going to be my biggest issue. That is why, like I said, I definitely may have to focus on, my own thing, and, working on my own business, and which I'm doing. But it said, despite the agreement, Rum says she quit after 13 months because of physical and mental strain, citing staffing that was so thin she was often unable to take even a 30-minute break during her 12-hour shifts. As a result of leaving, she has received 7 letters since October from a collection agency working for HCA demanding payment for the remaining 2,000 in training costs the hospital says she owes, and threatening to charge her interest for legal fees. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and I guess this is the great thing about being an LPN first, because I do think being an LPN first has its pros and has its cons. But this one is a major pro, ladies and gentlemen. When you are an LPN first, you have the opportunity to make a good amount of money very quickly. With that being said, you always have the opportunity to have FU money on deck once you start to work. Obviously you got to pay your dues first, and you may have to work at places that you don't really want to work, but that's just a part of the game, ladies and gentlemen. That's a part of the game. As an LPN, once you learn your skills and everything like that, you stack your bread up and you start to have you a little cushion for yourself. And it's your rainy day fund, your FU money, all that kind of stuff. So once you do decide to transition into becoming an RN, and you make the choice on whether you are going to go into the hospital or not, if you do decide to go into the hospital and you work and you do decide that, this may be a little bit too much for me. Yeah, I signed the contract and everything like that, but It's not it. It's draining and it's straining to my mental health, to my physical well-being. I can't take a break. I gotta go to the bathroom. It's hard to go to the bathroom. You just can't do certain things. So sometimes you may just have to leave. You may just have to leave. And then some of these hospitals are like, nah. Well, if you choose to leave, sir or ma'am, you're gonna pay. And it's always good to have that money on deck just in case you walk into a situation where you do have to pay. It's always important, if you ask me. But let's continue. Let's continue. We're being preyed on by someone in power. We're desperate for a job. We just got out of school. We don't know any better. Rum, who is 38, who lives in Westlake Village, California. I didn't even have time to take a lunch break. My hair was falling out. The level of stress just wasn't sustainable. That's why I said this whole thing is a learning experience for me. It's learning, like I'm learning about myself every day, and I'm learning about what I'm willing to take and what I'm not willing to take. You have to put things in a perspective for yourself, because if you don't, you will end up in situations like this that you simply don't have to be in. See, a lot of times people glamorize certain parts of nursing, and they'll come online and they'll say, well, this is so fly, is that, but meanwhile your hair is falling out, you're stressed out. I told y'all about the MP who I was working with in the nursing home, and she was on a cart doing agency, and she said that when she was a psych MP, she was so stressed out, and working where we were working at, she was just not stressed, and she was having a great, well, she was having the best time that she could. It was a way better time than where she was. So that's something to take into consideration. While Rum says she did receive about 10 weeks of training and mentorship, it fell short of what she expected, given the $4,000 value the hospital placed on it. That's interesting. Some of the in-person classes covered material she had already gone over in nursing school or that wasn't relevant to her specialty. And she had limited time to spend shadowing a more experienced nurse. Ladies and gentlemen, business 101. Business 101. I'm trying to get the most out of you for the least cost. It's business 101. I mean, I don't understand, like, what's so hard to understand about that. The practice of requiring payment for training programs aimed at recent nursing school graduates has become increasingly common in recent years, with some hospitals requiring nurses to pay back as much as $15K if they quit or are fired before their contract is up, according to more than a dozen nursing contracts reviewed by NBC News and interviews with nurses, educators, and hospital administrators and labor organizers. This is why this is why they have a hard time keeping people, because it's literally like these places are trying to control your life. Even with the situation that I spoke on, it's like they really trying to control your life, control your world. You know what I'm saying? It's like what do you really want? What do you really want? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say it is important for you to have your ducks in a row early. You dig what I'm saying? And know what you want out of this thing before going in, because now we have enough research. There are enough videos, there are enough vlogs, there are enough articles, there are enough news reports on the nitty gritty side of this game. But here's the thing. Some people just have to learn things for themselves and find it out on their own. Let's continue. It says hospital says the repayment requirement is necessary to help them recoup the investment they made. Investment, ladies and gentlemen. The business move that they made, investment, it's a business, boys and girls, into training recent nursing school graduates and to incentivize them to stay amid a tight labor market. But some nurses say the system has left them feeling trapped in jobs and afraid to speak out about unsafe working conditions for fear of being fired or having to face thousands of dollars in debt. Ladies and gentlemen, these nurses are feeling trapped. And that's the one thing. I don't see some things are not worth the money. Okay? Some things are not worth the money. My time is way more valuable to me than money, ladies and gentlemen. And when you start to gain leverage, right? When you start to acquire options for yourself, then this is an unnecessary thing. And I'm not saying that you should never work in a hospital. I'm not saying that you should never work a full-time job. I'm saying that you should never do anything that goes against your well-being. And if you are a person that is stressed out, that is drained, that is damaged, that's going home crying every day, you need to find you a different part of the field to go into. And a lot of the times we go into certain things because we be so worried about and caught up on what other people may think of the field or what other people have to say about the certain specialty. You dig what I'm saying? I know some RNs that won't go towards the nursing home because they feel like they're lowering themselves. And I know plenty of RNs that do work in the nursing home. I know some RNs that won't touch a hospital because of what they've, you know what I'm saying? It's just about doing what's best for you when it comes down to it. It's about doing what's best for you when it comes down to it. So these training programs do not provide nurses with any sort of new qualification. Rather, employers are passing on to nurses the cost of basic on-the-job training that requires for any RN position at any hospital. And then they're using these contracts to lock nurses into their jobs or risk this devastating financial penalty, said Brian O'Neill, a regulatory policy specialist with National Nurses United, a labor group with more than 200,000 members. Having that debt hanging over them means that nurses have a harder time advocating for safe conditions for themselves and their patients. Absolutely. When you are in a situation when you feel like you locked in, how are you supposed to provide good nursing care to yourself? I mean, nursing care to the patient. That's why it's good to be selfish sometimes. It's good to be selfish sometimes because of things like this. I'm not putting myself in no situation intentionally. You dig what I'm saying? Just to try to get a new position or something like that. Like it's not that deep. I will thug these nursing homes out till I can't do it no more. If that means I keep my sanity, if it means that I keep control of my time, if it means that I'm not locked up or locked in nowhere and I'm stressed out and I hate my job. Nah, y'all got the game twisted, man. Y'all looking at it from a wrong perspective. I can't do it. HCA said in a statement that its programs were developed by nurse educators as an important investment, and I'm sure they got paid too, as an important investment in our colleagues and demonstrate our commitment to advancing the nursing profession. The hospital system, which has 184 hospitals, said the program also allows nurses to receive training across a wide range of specialties such as oncology, surgical services, critical care, and pediatrics. It also gives the nurses options to transfer to its other facilities. Let me tell you something. These hospital moguls, these hospital millionaires and billionaires, you better get like them. You better learn the game and get like them. You dig? A nursing home moguls buying $26 million houses out in Malibu. I'm not a hater. They gave they gave the game. They doing what they do. They doing what most businessmen do or business women do. They finesse. They finesse. Given our substantial investment in this professional development program, we ask participants to commit to stay with us for a certain period of time after completing the training. During the course of their commitment, nurses are eligible for promotion and have the flexibility to pursue other opportunities at any of our more than 2,300 sites of care across the country. Woo! That's a lot of hospitals. That's a big old network, boy. That is a big old network. The practice has caught the attention of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which in September began investigating forms of debt created by employers for their employees through training programs. The agency is in the process of reviewing the training repayment programs as a type of debt product being offered to workers similar to a student loan and assessing whether the agency should take additional oversight action, said CFPB official. It is so funny that your job and your occupation is to help people. And like, this is how you know it's a fun. And like I said, I really enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I do, but the game, the finesse around it. Your job is literally to put yourself before everybody else every day. Your job is literally to take care of people that can't take care of themselves. Your job is to advocate for people who can't advocate for themselves. And the fact that you can go into debt doing such a selfless job like that is unbelievable. Is unbelievable. That you can have a job that is so selfless, but you can go into thousands of dollars of debt because you chose to get into a profession where you're needed. I'm just only saying this so people can understand that this is a business and you can take what you want out of the business, or the business is going to take what it wants out of you, ladies and gentlemen. A job where it is literally necessary for you to put everything else before yourself, and you can be in thousands of dollars in debt. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody eats. Whether you want to admit it or not, everybody is going to eat one way or another. The CEO is going to eat. The managers are going to eat. The colleges are going to eat. The dean is going to eat. Somebody's going to eat. They're all going to eat, ladies and gentlemen. Are you going to eat? That's the question. Are you going to eat? Are you going to get yours? Are you going to get what you're supposed to get out of this whole thing? Huh? That's what I want to know. I want to know, are you going to eat and get what you are supposed to get out of this whole thing? Because if you don't, I really don't understand. Like, I don't understand why you're even in the game. Yeah, because when you think about it, you can help people and don't have to spend thousands of dollars going to school to do so. If that's really your passion. I'm just saying. If that's really your passion, you can help people for free. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But let's continue. Undoubtedly, to trap you, labor experts say that employers in a growing number of industries have been using similar training repayment requirements as a form of debt to keep workers from leaving their jobs in a tight labor market. Oh, yeah. And guess what? I'm not going to even say they 100% wrong, because I try to be objective as possible, and I try to put myself in a position, okay, if this is my multi-million-dollar company, how would I feel about that? If I did, excuse me, let's just say I did invest thousands of dollars of real training into a nurse or into whoever decides to come into my company. Let's just say I did that, ladies and gentlemen, just for them to leave. Am I wrong for wanting to recoup what I've invested? But on the flip side, should a person subject themselves to unsafe work conditions, mental stress, physical stress? That's the question. And that's why we have to be objective about it. Now, obviously, I am not an owner of a hospital or a facility, so I am biased to a certain degree. I don't want to be trapped anywhere. I'm biased in this thing. I can admit that. So all I'm saying is that you better learn how to play your cards right. Along with nurses, workers in the trucking, retail. Oh yeah, that is true. Because like if you now this I can see. Okay. Well, nah, not when I was a truck driver, you had to like if they paid for you to go to school, you would have to sign a year contract. To me, that wasn't too bad. They paid for you to go to school. The least you can give them was a year. Okay, I dig that. But a lot of these places ain't covering your tuition costs. Now, if the school like this is why I think hospitals need to go back into opening their own nursing programs like they used to do back in the day, because then things like this will make more sense. I'm not saying that it will be 100% right, but it would make more sense because if I'm a hot, because you at that point, they can't deny the value that you put into them. You dig what I'm saying? They cannot deny the value that you put into them. If I'm a hospital and I literally trained you, you went to school here, and I'm paying for the education as the hospital, the least you can do is give me 2 years. I get that part. That will make more sense. Not saying that they should stay in a situation to where it's unsafe, but hospitals will be more, they will have more of a case, in my opinion, if they said, all right, we about to pay for you to go to school here. We're going to train you here. We're going to train you on the floor. We're going to train you how to do the job. It's all covered, but you got to sign for 2 years. I could understand that. I could definitely understand that. That would make more sense to me. But these people are signing contracts while they already are in debt to the college. Now, how much sense do that make? How much sense do that make? Let's continue. Along with nurses, okay, I read that part. We're seeing these expand exponentially, especially in the sectors where there's a huge demand for workers that predated the pandemic, said Jonathan Harris, an associate professor at Loyola Law School and a fellow at the Student Borrow Protection Center. The main purpose is not to provide real useful training to workers and simply just recoup the cost of that. The main purpose has in many instances been simply as a mechanism to keep workers from leaving their job. It's been used as a mechanism to keep workers from leaving their job through debt, and using their training as part of it as basically a pretext to make it try to appear justifiable. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. It says California passed a law in 2020 that will prevent hospitals from charging employees for job related training required by the employer that isn't related to getting a state mandated license or certification. Still, HCA has continued to send letters to former nurses there, including Rum, seeking to collect payment for the training costs, according to the collection letter shared with NBC News. Harris said that the practice appears to be in violation of the California law. The man, they said, I don't care about the law. Where's our paper? They said, where's our paper? Hospital training programs for recent nursing school graduates aren't uncommon, but not all hospitals have a reimbursement requirement. A survey by National Nurses United found about half of the nurses said they were required to participate in a training or residency program at some point in their career. And among hospital nurses who participated, 55% said they were required to repay their employer for the cost of that training if they left before their contract expired, ladies and gentlemen. This is not, this ain't nothing new. It's really nothing new, boys and girls. Like, it's part of the game. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was today's show. Uh, it's rough out here. It's rough out here. I appreciate y'all for hollering at me. And till next time, I bid y'all adieu. Peace.